What's going on, you guys? It's your boy MJ. Welcome back to a brand new video. On your way in, man, hit that like button, comment down below because I love seeing your guys' comments, and subscribe to the channel, man. Share the videos as well. All right, so today's video we're going to be reacting to is called Heavy Machinery and Industrial Mistakes Caught on Camera from the channel Underworld. The original link to this video will be down below in the description. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. Hope everybody had a good Super Bowl Sunday. Let's get it.
From a gunpowder plant in India that was blown sky high, and drivers in Massachusetts who were covered in fire suppression CO2, to a retaining wall in Turkey that couldn't withstand the pressure, and Chinese workers who learned why you shouldn't mix.
Bruh, imagine waking up to that scene right there. That's scary, bro. Damn.
Water and molten aluminum. Here are heavy machinery and industrial disasters caught on camera.
Wow.
Mother Nature has a funny way of correcting human error. These Turkish developers learned that lesson the hard way when they tried building a new hotel on unstable land. It was July 24th of 2018. The crew was hard at work, digging out the area below a poorly built retaining wall in Istanbul. That's when something suddenly slipped, and the area was forever sealed in an earthly tomb.
Damn. Bro, Bruh. Oh, that looks like it's about to come. Yep, there it goes. Damn.
The collapse may have been over, but a new problem was only beginning. The home you see on the edge hung there for several more hours as the police evacuated everyone inside. Eventually, gravity did what it does best.
Gravity always wins, bro. Oh my God.
On Google Street View, you can see what the area looked like in the months before the collapse. Would you feel comfortable going anywhere near that wall? Imagine living in the buildings above it. According to reports, a torrential rainstorm the night before had washed out much of the soil and weakened the area behind the wall. All it took was a little push to send the whole thing crashing down. As for the collapsed building, investigators learned that it had been built illegally back in 1994. It didn't have a construction license or occupancy permit, yet nobody did anything about it until it was too late. Unfortunately, these kinds of things are common in Istanbul and other Turkish cities. Builders put profits ahead of safety, and sometimes innocent people pay the ultimate price.
And that's the sad part about it. It's that greed, man. That's sad, bro.
Dump trucks come in all shapes and sizes, from small roadside models to the ultra-heavy-duty Belaz 75710, the largest dump truck in the world. It's capable of hauling upwards of 450 tons, all supported by 8 giant tires, each weighing upwards of 5 tons apiece. It's unclear where or when this next clip took place. All we know is that this massive truck learned the hard way that high-voltage power lines don't care how big your tires are or how much you can tow. The driver probably should have checked the clearance level before showing up with his rig.
Like power lines.
It's unclear what caused the tire to explode, though high-voltage electricity was likely the culprit. A similar scene occurred in Murino, Russia, when this standard-sized dump truck struck a low-hanging power line on the job site.
Shit.
Мне кажется, нужно соседей. Ох, весело, однако.
What
Right
the
here,
hell?
you can see sparks flying from where the truck bed made contact with the wire. Since it's one piece of metal, the shock
Yeah.
likely flowed through the frame and into the tires, superheating the air inside and causing them to blow. Thankfully, neither clip resulted in anyone being struck by a flying tire.
That's good, because if it was, that's GG's.
The next two truck disasters avoided power lines altogether. Instead, they fell victim to a different force of nature, gravity. Both groups found themselves in similar situations. Their work trucks had flipped over, likely due to poor weight distribution. This first group had enough rope on hand to solve their first problem. Unfortunately, things went downhill from there.
Just let it go, man.
In slow motion, you can see the driver narrowly escaping moments before the truck rolls downhill. At
Yeah,
least
brother.
it stopped on all four wheels. Legend has it that this next truck is still rolling through the jungle. Once again, we have no idea how this dump truck wound up on its side. It's also unclear if the driver was still inside when they flipped it back over.
I hope
the
not.
force of either flip may have been enough to rupture the brake lines on both trucks. That, or someone forgot to put their rig in park after they tipped over. Most workplaces have strict cell phone rules. For many, it's about distraction. Employers don't want you watching YouTube videos when you're supposed to be working. But sometimes, cell phone rules are simply meant to keep you safe. On April 27th of 2025, a construction worker in Nanjing, China, was texting outside of a high-rise building project when his coworkers heard a loud crack from 23 stories up. They scrambled out of the way while their buddy was too busy trying to pick the perfect emoji.
Oh! 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 Oh
In slow
my
motion, you can see
God.
a wire snaking across the concrete
you see
pallets
it.
as the massive 260-foot yellow crane falls. The worker hears it and manages
Ooh,
to duck
boy, he was
moments
saved.
before the arm slams the concrete.
He was saved.
Footage from the building next door shows the crane truck bent at a near 90-degree angle. It's unclear what caused the collapse, but we're guessing uneven weight distribution was to blame. As for the worker, he escaped unharmed, though he learned a life-saving lesson about using his phone at work. It's a distraction, and distractions on an active job site can cost you your life.
Yeah. Damn. He got saved. That boy. Yeah, stay up, man. When you're working around machinery, even if you're not directly working on it, if you're working around it, unless it's a genuine emergency, stay off the phone, bro. Like you'd have been end up like my man right here. He narrowly escaped. Narrowly. Because that would have been his ass. If these weren't there and that came on down, yeah, that would have been GG's. Stay off the phones, man.
You can't just throw anything in the garbage. Some items, like electronics, tires, and paint, must be taken to special drop-off sites where they can be disposed of or recycled safely. Someone must have forgotten to tell this Ohio local that oxygen tanks fall into that category. On January 29th of 2025, their brainless mistake nearly cost 2 garbage men their lives.
Sounds about right.
As the workers gather themselves, they notice a fire starting in the back of the truck.
Yep, you see it right there. Damn. Brother. Good shit. Now, who the fuck puts an oxygen tank in a garbage can? I don't even blame them because obviously they didn't know. What the? All right. Sound like somebody had it out for these two.
Thankfully, neither of the workers were injured when the oxygen tank exploded under pressure. According to local Whitehall police, the sound was so loud that it triggered the city's gunshot alert system. They raced to the scene expecting to find an armed suspect. Instead, they found 2 waste workers who were lucky to be alive. It's unclear whether the homeowner was ever charged or fined for placing the oxygen tank in the trash, nor do we know if they put it in the bin in the first place. Remember to check the label when disposing of unconventional items. If you're unsure, look it up online to see where you're supposed to go. Don't just throw it away.
Man, be safe out there,
Special Blast
y'all.
Limited is a 100-acre gunpowder plant on the outskirts of Pirta village in the landlocked state of Chhattisgarh, India. They specialize in blasting equipment for mining and other industrial jobs. In other words, they're pretty good at making things go boom. Then on May 25th of 2024, they learned how potent their products actually are. Workers were gearing up for the morning shift when, without warning, a massive explosion occurred at the plant. The blast was powerful enough to shake our CCTV camera, and the sound echoed for miles over the landscape. Locals rushed outside to find a mushroom cloud stretching into the air. They knew exactly what had happened and feared the worst for the workers trapped inside. When the dust settled, those on the ground were able to see what was left of the former gunpowder plant.
Hopefully everybody's all right.
Rescue operations were underway as soon as the area was deemed safe. Unfortunately, 10 people had already perished, and 7 more were found with various injuries. The blast itself left a 40-foot crater in its wake. An investigation is underway to determine what caused the explosion.
Damn.
It doesn't appear that any new information has emerged since 2024. According to reports, many villagers had been complaining about the factory for a long time. Back in 2023, Special Blast Limited had its license suspended for 15 days. It's unclear what they were cited for, but we're willing to bet it had something to do with poor safety practices.
Damn. As soon as I said that, he said that. Man, rest in peace to everybody involved, man. Damn.
Quincy, Massachusetts is a coastal city in Norfolk County, roughly 10 miles south of Boston. It's home to about 100,000 people who are used to freezing winters and warm summers. On July 2nd of 2020, a malfunction at a Stop and Shop gas station led locals to believe they were experiencing a summertime snowstorm. But instead of being made of H2O, this fluffy white stuff was made of CO2. Traffic was moving steadily outside the gas station when, without warning, the fire suppression system suddenly went off. Within seconds, the entire area is covered in a thick cloud of CO2. You can see one person escape the cloud off to the right, while another is trapped in the middle. They and one other person reported problems breathing afterward and were taken to the hospital, where all three recovered. The cloud finally dissipated after a minute, leaving behind what looked like a dusting of snow in the middle of July. A Stop and Shop spokesperson later said that the system misfired due to a faulty heat reading. It must have mistook the sweltering July heat for a fire on pump 3.
Damn.
The next time you're at a gas station, look up at the nozzles on the ceiling. Those aren't your typical sprinklers. They're special hoses connected to canisters of baking soda on the roof. The soda reacts with an acidic ingredient, releasing carbon dioxide and thus smothering the fire. Exposure to this mixture can cause shortness of breath and skin irritation, but it's certainly better than the alternative. Aluminum and water are a dangerous and possibly fatal combination. But don't get rid of your tin foil just yet. We're talking about industrial molten aluminum, which you probably don't have on hand. If you do, hopefully you know the risks. There's a reason why these factory workers at an aluminum plant in Henan Province, China, were in full panic mode when floodwaters breached their walls on July 20th of 2021.
That looks crazy.
Imagine seeing this outside your window at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Look at that shit here. Damn. You seen that shockwaves? The shockwaves.
The multi-million-dollar building in question was an aluminum alloy plant belonging to the Dongfeng Power Group. Around 4 a.m., water levels on a nearby river reached dangerous levels. It
I know
soon
that
overflowed,
looks like
one of the
Armageddon.
walls and
That's what it looked
quickly
like.
flooding the plant. Immediately, the company cut the power and began evacuations. They knew that they were racing against time as the water was making its way toward a high-temperature solution in the alloy tank. All it took was a drop to wipe this building from the face of the earth. Thankfully, everyone made it out in time, and nobody was hurt during the blast.
Good.
Water and molten aluminum are so dangerous that most plants prohibit water bottles or soft drinks on the casting floor. One mistake could easily be your last.
Bro, that's like the end of the world for real, though.
Derince, Turkey is a seaport in Kocaeli province. As one of the few ports with railway connections, the city plays a crucial role in Turkey's economy. When something goes wrong, everyone tends to know about it. On August 7th of 2023, cameras were rolling outside the Turkish grain board as pressure began to build inside the silos. This forklift driver had no idea what was about to happen as he drove toward the soon-to-be danger zone. Official reports claim that the explosion occurred due to wheat dust compression as the product was being transferred into the silos from a nearby ship. Turkey had been experiencing a sweltering heat wave at the time, so the general theory is that heat plus pressure equals kaboom. Drone footage taken after the blast shows that most of the silos remained intact. The tannish piles you see on the ground are several tons of grain leaking out like sand. In the end, 13 silos and outbuildings were damaged, and 12 employees were in serious condition at a nearby hospital. The Saipem 7000 is among the world's largest ocean crane vessels. As such, it must undergo routine testing to ensure that everything is up to code. At this scale, even a slight miscalculation can have catastrophic consequences. During a load test off the coast of Norway, the primary block wire broke, causing the crane to drop the barges it was attempting to lift. In slow motion, you can see the massive crane head narrowly miss the barges below. The situation on board wasn't any better, as the sudden load release caused the entire vessel to list to one side. Luckily, the crane stabilized moments later, and nobody was hurt during the accident. After a few quick repairs, the Saipem 7000 was back at work shortly after.
Oh, okay.
Mianzhu, China is a county-level city in Sichuan province. It's home to over 400,000 people.
Hey, I appreciate that
Have
follow.
attended the annual beer festival since it began in 2011. Unfortunately for some, the 14th annual event was their last. The party was in full swing on August 15th of 2025. Meanwhile, a fierce wind and rainstorm battered the canopy overhead. Then, at 9:50 p.m., everyone heard the same horrifying sound over the music, the sound of twisting, collapsing metal.
Come on now, get out of there, get out of there. That's one hell of a party, though. I will be running for my life. I will be getting the fuck out of there. Yeah, run. What y'all doing just standing there for? Shoot, hey, once that rain comes, yo, the party over. I'm out of there. I think he said, get the hell out of there. Get the fuck out of here.
The scene fell into chaos as festival workers tried their best to evacuate the guests. When it was deemed safe, teams moved in to see if anybody was hurt under the fall.
Just a little technical difficulties. We are back.
The scene fell into chaos as festival workers tried their best to evacuate the guests. When it was deemed safe, teams moved in to see if anybody was hurt under the fallen beams. Sadly, 2 people had passed away on the scene, and 3 others were in critical condition. According to reports, the cause of the incident is currently under investigation. Clearly, the structure wasn't strong enough to withstand the storm.
Rest
the
in
real
peace.
question
Rest in peace
is
to
whether
those
the
2 people,
organizers were warned in advance to cancel the event due to the weather. If they were, then the passing of those 2 attendees is on their hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more...
Okay, so you guys were warned. Oh yeah, this is on y'all, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, yo. Like, they warned you, hey, it's gonna be bad weather, man. I don't think we should do it. It's all right. Let's go ahead and do it anyways. Yeah, that's on y'all, man. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy that video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos, of course. And yeah, that's it for your boy. See you guys next time. Peace.